Hey, today I'm going to go over color theory, specifically in Adobe Illustrator. Now what I have up here is a color wheel, and there's two kinds of color coordination basically. Well, there's more than that, but pretty common ways of looking at it is complementary and analogous. And what you can do is look at the opposites here, and those are complementary, and the ones next to it on the color wheel are analogous. And we can do an Illustrator. If you have the color wheel, you can Google color wheel on Google Images and find one. I just have one in the public domain and did a live trace of it. Use the white direct selection arrow, and you can click on each of these, and you can see up here in the color palette. If you don't see that, you can click it over here or go to Window and then Color to bring it up. And you can see over here it brings up the levels Cmyk. This stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, black. Some newspapers, they still might use this, but some printers actually are okay with RGB, which is red, green, blue. Usually designing for the screen, though, we usually refer to RGB. Cmyk, sometimes they have 4 different plates, and there's a cyan plate, a magenta plate, and a yellow plate, and a black plate. And they're partially transparent and then opaque on other areas, and it put together, they create a full color photograph. And newspapers, magazines might use that. You can have it in Cmyk settings or RGB, either way. But you can see over here when I click on it, it automatically changes it over here. This is just the fill. There's no stroke. I double click there. Of course, I could change it over here as well. But next to color, there's a thing called color guide. Or, of course, you could also go to Window and then color guide, Shift F3. So I'm going to hit color guide. What this does is, I pull this down, I click this down arrow, and that's called harmony rules. Basically, color harmony, what looks good, what colors look good together. And I can click on each one, and it will show me, for example, I'll just click this one. Like this red right here. So it shows up right over here, and I click that, and it'll set the base color to that. And that base color right here will affect the rest. So I'll go up to the top to just show you what I mean. So click one of these. So click, for example, this orangish. Okay, then click there, and it resets it. So it's harmonizing here, and it'll show you different ones, options on the color guide. Now complementary. Notice this right here, you look straight across, is this exact color right here. So those are complementary. You can go to split complementary, left complement, right complement. What that means is if you go right across and then go to the right, if you're looking this way, then it goes slightly to the right, so these three. Or left complement is these three. Analogous is right next to each other. So right here, and right here, these are analogous to each other. Okay. The next one down, compound, high contrast. You can see all these different ways of figuring out color schemes for a logo design, a print design, advertising design, a website design. This is all helpful for that. If you look at tetrad, for example, what that is, if you just imagine this right here, and then going like a triangle, and then over there and here, okay, almost like those 4, okay, in like a diagonal across. Triad is more like a triangle actually. So I'm going to click on that. So you go here, then imagine going here, and then there. So it's got that triangle orientation. Okay, monochromatic, those are just basically different shades of the same colors or similar colors. All right, so for example, if you were creating some kind of logo, I'll just type up, let's say color designs. I don't want to stroke. Let's do 72. And a quick shortcut, if you hold down Alt and click and drag, and you can hold Shift to keep it at that 45 or 90 degree angle, that's a duplicate. You can do that in Photoshop or Illustrator. If you hold down Alt or Option on the Mac and click and drag, you can duplicate some pretty quickly. And I'll just type in there. Let's just say we have a design company called Color Theory, just making something up. So if we want that, let's say we want it to be complementary. So what you can do is click this one here and double click on it, and you probably write down that web color code right there. Or you could write down the RGB levels or the Cmyk. So Cmyk, that's easy to remember, 47 and 98. So what you do, over on color, just do 47, 98, 0 for cyan and black, and then we have that there. And for the complementary one, did we use this one? Yes, okay. So the one right across is this blue hue, and this is 847000. Okay, then we have a design where we are using complementary colors. And you could use any of those ways of harmonizing colors with each other. You could, of course, use this with shapes and rectangles and whatever. You could just kind of experiment and see what you can do. And do Control left bracket or Command left bracket, move that backward. You could do somewhere you put this flush right next to it, so you could do a pretty simple little logo like that, where you have complementary colors again. Okay, this is just doing something really quick. So color theory, you have complementary colors in a logo, some simple kind of thing. Again, color guide is a great thing to use in that regard. You can choose any color, so maybe it's not even on a color wheel. I'll just click it over here and choose maybe some kind of blue, and then go to color guide, click it here, just make sure it's selected, and then it'll give you those color codes, okay, for the different harmonizing rules. And these are all swatches. If I click there, it'll set it over here. So I could choose any of these really. Same thing if you go down here, you could click any of these, and it automatically changes it over here. So you could change it to any of your objects or text objects, shapes, different designs created with the pen tool, and automatically change the fill or stroke by using the color guide. Thank you.